What is up, everyone? Happy freedom. Welcome to another episode of Coffee with Hooligans. Please take a second to hit that like button. More likes, more hooligans. We're going to go through the schedule really quick. Got quite a few things to cover today, and we're going to check on all the chats. Gotta do something really quick that I forgot to do. We got 3 or 4 videos that are going to be on the alternative platforms, so I'm going to probably post the link to Rumble and pin it in the chat. That way you guys can just make your way over to Rumble when we get to that point. We are going to cover the press briefing today. It starts like 20 minutes or so, if she's on time. I don't want to see it, but I know you guys do, so we're going to cover it. See how it goes. Alright, so on the schedule today, we got the press briefing at 2:15. Then we'll be starting off this live with a video titled "Immigrants Make Camp, Scatter Belongings and Trash in Police Stations Around Chicago." I don't really feel bad for that. They want people across the border illegally and all this stuff, and they don't want to enforce a law. The best thing they could do is camp at the police station. Why not? Why not? They can look it right in the face every morning. Then we have a video titled, very short, we're only going to watch 27 seconds of it. It's titled "Governor DeSantis to Announce Presidential Campaign on Twitter with Elon Musk Tonight." It's supposed to happen in like 4 hours. I don't know why he's doing that. I think he should wait till 2028, but we'll see how it goes. I think it's just going to piss off everyone in Florida. We'll see how it goes, though. Then we have a video titled "I Thought Surely This Can't Be True. Pat Fallon Stunned by Old Man Walter's Gas Stove Rules." But it's not just gas stoves. He wants your furnaces and water heaters and all that stuff. It's not just gas stoves. It's funny how the government does stuff, like the TikTok ban. They're like, oh, we're going to ban TikTok, but really there's like 15 other apps included. They just don't say that. They just demonize TikTok, make everyone hate TikTok, then put TikTok in the title, and then you're just like, yeah, take our rights away. And I don't know. It makes me feel bad that how stupid people are. It really hurts me deep in my little feelings. Then we have a video titled "Target Scrambles to Avoid Bud Light Moment." Target had a lot of Pride merchandise for children. Apparently people don't like that, and they made their voices heard, which is kind of unusual. I think we are at the turning point where people are starting to become anti-woke openly. I know it's been around like that, but everybody's so quiet. They won't protest. They won't cause havoc. They won't do or say anything. They just bitch about it on the internet, and that doesn't do anything. And then the woke people take over everything. I think people are starting to fight back. Then we'll be wrapping up things on YouTube with a video titled Vietnam POWs Reunite on 50th anniversary of homecoming, which is a good way to end the live for YouTube. And then we'll be leaving YouTube to all the other platforms that we go live on with a video, Mayor breeds San Francisco drug crisis meeting, interrupt by boos, shouting, brick thrown in the crowd. There's people smoking crack right there on the sidewalk, for real right there, just doing drugs and stuff. There's so much drug use that I can't show it on YouTube because it's practically a tutorial. There's so much going on. Then we have a video titled Jesse Waters, a professor almost beheaded a reporter. So yesterday on the alternative platforms, we showed a professor that became radical, I guess, because there was a group of students who had a table that was showing information on why curing yourself from pregnancy is bad. We'll word it like that, because you can't talk about what it literally is because YouTube has so many rules. So that professor became angry, started throwing stuff off the table, whatever. That was enough on its own. But then Fox reporters or some news reporters went to this person's dwelling and was met with a machete, almost decapitated one of the reporters. The professor is totally a radical. So that'll be a part of the alternative platforms. And we will be wrapping things up with kind of a continuation of that incident. The second video is going to be interviewing the reporter that was almost beheaded by the radical professor. And that's how we're going to be wrapping up today's live. So look forward to that. I'm going to grab the link for Rumble and pin it to the top of YouTube while I still can. We're not going to be able to do that for very long. They're cracking down on links and stuff. Not going to be able to share all my links and all that. So you guys are going to have to get used to going to Rumble, get used to going to Odyssey, get used to going to jeffmaclive.com without me telling you to do so. Going to have to just get in the habit of doing it. Let's see. Let me pin this in the chat. We'll make sure everything's running smoothly. For all I know, I could be just talking to myself. That's what Kent Daniels thinks I do every day. What's up, everyone, on JeffMAC YouTube channel? Appreciate you guys being here. What's up, Grey Wolf? What's up, Witchy? What's up, Shanti? What's up, Damon Walker? What's up, Wade? What's up, Matthew? Happy Freedom. What's up, Kevin? What's up, Tommy? What's up, JB? Happy Freedom. Everyone else sells coffee. Where's the hooligan beans? Yeah, I'm trying to think. I did have affiliate codes for some sort of Blackout coffee. That's what it is. The coffee that Brightside Broadcasting is marketing and stuff. It's not theirs. I'm sure they have an affiliate thing too. I had that, but nobody was clicking the links. Nobody was going there. Nobody was checking it out. Nobody was taking advantage of the 15% off or whatever it was. So I just took the link down. It's always like that with affiliate stuff. Anytime I share anything like that, nobody checks it out. So I just took it down. I got so many links everywhere that I don't need more. I need less, if anything. What's up, B? What's up, Nanner Nose? What's up, Jeffery? Happy Freedom. What's up, RS? What's up, Patty? What's up, Grateful Ed? What's up, Schmeck? What's up, Diane? Let's see. What's up, JB? What's up, Adrian? What's up, Robert? What's up, Soul For Real? Appreciate you hooligans being here. What's up, Leonardo? What's up, Enterprise? Enterprise, you gotta be more specific. Whitmer, she does so much dumb stuff every day. I can't keep up. What's up, Chris? What's up, Guy Dub? What's up, Lisa? Kevin, my cat thinks I'm just a big weird looking cat. My cat thinks the same thing and wonders why I scream at my TV for 3 hours every day. It's like, I don't know, he just sits in front of the TV with 16 lights on him and just starts screaming into this little microphone. I don't know what he's doing. He thinks I'm over here playing pretend, talking to my imaginary friends. One day I'm going to wake up in the ward and realize that's what I've been doing for the last 3 years. Let's see. Guy Dub, yeah. That's how we're going to sell it. We're going to have to sell some. We'll come up with some marketing. What's up, Salty Sabbath? Happy Freedom. What's up, everyone on the JeffMAC Live YouTube channel? What's up, Shadow? What's up, Toy Mafia? What's up, James? Happy Freedom. What's up, Birdman? Make sure you guys are racking up those likes. What's up, everyone on Twitch? Twitch has been hurting lately. I don't know why. We showed the game on... No, we didn't show the game on Twitch. I was going to say, we showed the game on Twitch the day before yesterday, or whenever the last time we played the game, and there wasn't that many people in. Showed it on Kick yesterday, and I think we had more people on Kick than we were showing the game on Twitch. What's up, Grey Wolf? Soul for Real? Appreciate you guys watching. Oh, what's going on with Kick? Nobody watching on Kick. I'm gaining followers, but nobody's ever watching. I don't know how that works, but just going with the flow. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Ain't that how it goes? If it ain't woke, don't fix it. Don't you jack my stuff. I'm coming out with that t-shirt today. Hold on. That's $1 million idea right there. I'm gonna come out with that tonight. That's what she said. What's up, everyone on Odyssey? Happy freedom. What's going on with Rumble? Oh, Rumble's working. What's up, everyone on Rumble? Happy freedom. Make sure you guys are racking up those likes. 30-something people here watching, but not hitting the like button. We could make the front page. We really could. There's not that much competition. I'm still convinced most views on Rumble are bots. They're not actual viewers. They just do it to make it look good, so when people show up, they want to stay. We could make the front page. I believe in you, hooligans. What's up, Joe? What's up, Serum? What's up, Snooks? What's up, Pumpkin? What's up, Patty? What's up, Rasta? What's up, TJ? Happy freedom. TJ, I'm really glad we're doing the press briefings again. Thank you. Yeah, no problem. I know everybody's been saying, and it's about what you guys want, so we could show it. I can't stand watching it because it's not fun anymore because KJP doesn't answer anything, but as long as I don't have to hear Kirby every single day, it's tolerable. I cannot stand hearing Kirby talk. Just can't stand it. But as long as you guys are happy, that's all that matters to me. Let's see. What's up, everyone on jeffmaclive.com. What's up, 10 Man? What's up, Cassandra? Happy freedom. Appreciate you guys being here. I agree, 10 Man. Yeah, I wish YouTube didn't have such a stronghold on us, because they're not lighting up. I don't know how to say what I'm trying to say. They're not going to make things easier anytime soon. It's just going to get harder and harder to speak. Eventually, I'll have to be up here and doing sign language and stuff. And hopefully, you guys will be able to pick up what I'm laying down. That's how we're going to do things. What's up, Gabby? What's up, Annette? Happy freedom. I appreciate you, Snooks. We're going to go ahead and get started. Very first video. Wait, what time is it? We're going to be able to go through a few of these videos before the press briefing starts. Let me get the press briefing pulled up really quick, though, because there's a lot of issues when we go late. People show up and they're like, this isn't live, because they know more about running lives than I do. I don't understand it. Everybody's a critic. All right, we'll get that pulled up. That way I can monitor when KJP stumbles and staggers out on stage smelling like whiskey. All right, this very first video is titled "Immigrants Make Camp, Scatter Belongings in Trash in Police Stations Around Chicago."
Make America great again.
Like I said, I don't feel bad for the police departments and all that stuff for this situation. They want to protect that stuff. They don't want to enforce the laws. They can live with border crossers. They can go ahead and do that. They don't like it, maybe enforce the laws. I know it's not all the officers' fault. I know they just take orders, but you know, if you think about history, just taking orders usually doesn't work out. Having some moral standing, something you gotta have. You gotta have that moral compass. So until they decide to get back their head screwed on straight, they can go ahead and look at homeless border crossers every morning when they go to work. Chicago's lawless anyways. What are the officers there for? Show? They're just there for looks. Just there so you can see cops. What's up, Girth? Let's see. Kevin, we should create our own language so they can't censor us. If we did, they would say it's the language of, white supreme pizza, and then you would be banned for speaking any part of it. They would just silence it as a whole. I've considered it. I've considered lots of things. Let's see. What's up, Radium? What's up, Crackshot? Sanctuary cities. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't feel bad. If they want it, give it to them. Let them have it. They want to deal with homeless crackheads, they want to deal with border crossers and stuff, then let them do it. Let them do it. When the city burns down and people don't live there anymore, we'll just go over there and rebuild it the way it should have been from the beginning. Just outlive them. That's the plan right now. Everything you do is being monitored and watched and categorized and demonized. Just leave them to their own demise. They want to live in their own filth, let them do it. When they, get gangrene and kick the bucket, then bury the bodies and, fix it. Make it what it should have been from the beginning. Just outlive them. Make good choices. Outlive the people that make bad choices. That's the strategy right now. What's up, M Rank? Let's see. Yeah, M Rank. Pretty much. Police are only there to get those that are labeled as white supreme pizzas running around. The internet is a prime example of build back better. Yep. B, what a toilet. And a garage sale. It does look like a garage sale. What's up, be a blessing? Happy freedom. Crackshot cops in Chicago is protect criminals. Yeah, like when they were running the streets and rioting, teenagers were rioting just for views on TikTok. That's all it was for. So they could become famous on TikTok. And the police just let them do it. They just let them do it. And then politicians were welcoming it, saying, they're peacefully protesting and exercising their First Amendment right by speaking out. No, they're not. They're jumping on cars and blowing windows out of stores and burning crap down, doing TikTok dances and Fortnite dances on cell phones. Like, that's not protesting. That's just anarchy. What's up, Edward? You only take orders if she's pretty. We know. Yeah. I'm husband material. Don't you know that? It's just, yes, dear, you're right. If you got that down, boom, perfect husband. That's the women will tell you. They will tell you. That's all they want out of you. That and to clean the house. That's all they want. They don't want anything else. Bring them food every once in a while. They're good to go. Let's see. RS, my favorite pizza. You crack me up. Crack me up. Yeah, they're all about that. That's why this video we're going to show on Rumble, talking about the radical professor, part of that video, they're kind of making fun of that. They're like, I wish the white supreme pizza would stop. And she's obviously doesn't fit the bill. It's good stuff. What's up, Kristen? Happy freedom. What's up, Sherry? Thanks for being here. Happy freedom. What's up, Dennis? Just reading through the chat really quick. We got a little over 5 minutes until KJP is supposed to be on stage. So we're just kind of hanging out. I mean, we're going to squeeze another video in before she hops on stage, but I want to make sure that we get everybody's comments and stuff, because when she gets on stage, then I got to sit here in silence for like an hour and a half, and it's, I'm a talker. I don't know if you guys know that. I'm a talker. It's hard to sit here and just shut up. I'm not good at it. What's up, Mr. Average? What's up, Paul? Happy freedom. Guy Dubs, citizens of the U.S. that live in the streets wouldn't be allowed to be there with the immigrants. Yeah. What's gonna happen in California when all the border crossers make it over there? What's gonna happen to those homeless people? Are they gonna fight over crack pipes, or I wonder how that's gonna go. Salty Sabbath, coffee is brewing. There shall not be no violence now. It's good to hear. It's good to hear. It's only Wednesday, it's too early to be violently protesting. Let's see. What's up, Lucky? Happy freedom. I'm doing good. I hope you are too. What's up, Easy? Leonardo, feel free to interrupt KJP. People get pissed. People get pissed off when I do that. Because I was for a while. Everything she would say, I would comment on it. And then people were like, I can't hear her spread her lies. Okay. Okay, I'll just let her flap her lips between her hips. And, you know, I'll just talk about it afterwards. What's up, Sarah? Is KJP going to address the White Supreme Pizza that tried to go through the White House gate with the U-Haul, no weapons, just a racist flag? Probably. You know it's the greatest threat to their democracy and yada yada. Can we still say that? That's so many rules. So many rules. Let's see. Witchy. Nothing wrong with talkers unless they're up in your face before coffee. Oh my goodness, I'm saying. When I used to work at the factory and we'd have to be there at 4:30 in the morning and people come up all bright and shiny and they're like, hi, how you doing? Da-da. I'm trying to be alive. If you want to continue to do the same thing, you need to get away from me. My goodness. I'm saying. Let's see. Lucky, I always heard KJP would be on the way out. Why haven't they kicked her off yet? Because she takes orders. That's why she takes orders. She's terrible at her job. She could not be worse at her job. The only way to be worse is if she didn't show up. Unfortunately, she does, for the most part. Doesn't answer any questions, doesn't call in anybody who asks real questions. And then she leaves. She just wanders off. Go back to drinking and driving. I don't know. She's terrible at her job. What's up, Indigo? Happy freedom. Oh yeah, I forgot to do the poll thing. See, you guys got to hit that like button. You got to get it out there. Got to get the video out there. It's not about vanity. It's about messing with the algorithm. What's up, MD Run? Happy freedom. What's up, Sam? Appreciate you being here. What's up, Mr. Beansy Beans? Why has everyone got a red name on Twitch today? Twitch, you're failing. You're failing us, Twitch. Let's see. Mr. Beansy Beans. KJP gets her money from the Chinese. Yep. I think it's interesting that KJP is always associated with China, and then Jembal Saki was always associated with the big mean country that I'm not allowed to talk about. They always showed her in her like Slavic hat and all that. Good stuff. What's up, Can Killer? What's up, King of Dorks? It's been a minute. Happy freedom. Thanks for being here. Let's see. What's up, Grease Liquor? Happy freedom. Well, I appreciate the feedback, Grease Liquor. Let's see. I'm waiting to see if the camera kicks over. Actually, I'm going to stick this on this monitor. I got 3 monitors in front of me, and I don't use one of them when I'm doing this. I do when I'm gaming, because I have so many chats and stuff I want to watch, and I can't click on anything. This way I can monitor what's going on here. I think we got enough time to cover another video before KJP comes drunkenly staggering on stage. This one's titled, we're going to go down to here. This is a very short video. It's Governor DeSantis to announce presidential campaign on Twitter with Elon Musk. It's very short, 27 seconds. The video is longer, but it's a lot of opinions. We don't need the opinions. Just need to know what's going on.
Good morning. Welcome back into Wake Up America. So reports are saying that Florida Governor Ron DeSantis will officially be announcing his run for the presidency on Twitter tonight at 6 p.m. on Twitter Spaces in a sit-down with Twitter CEO Elon Musk. Musk retweeting the reports after DeSantis' wife, Casey DeSantis, released a campaign video on her own Twitter account last night. For more on what's going to happen later today, let's welcome in Rick Santorum, Pennsylvania.
That was the only part that I cared about. I don't want to hear this guy's opinion. I don't care. Ron DeSantis is going to make an announcement today. I don't know why he's doing that. Sitting here doing the poll. That's what she said. Just a moment. Doing like 3 things at once. Unfortunately, that's what she said too. almost wrote happy birthday instead of happy freedom. I'm cracking myself up over here. When I realize I'm in a padded room, it's going to be sad. It's going to be sad. I don't know why Ron DeSantis is running. I don't see the point of that. He should just go ahead and continue on with the job he's got. That's what people put him there for. Run the full term. There's a lot of people who do not like that he's trying to run for the main office. I gotta watch my wording. They chose him to be governor of Florida for the full term, not a partial term and then to leave and go do something else. And that's what's burning a lot of Florida people up. I see it all the time. When people are saying, oh, DeSantis or Orange Eagle, there's always comments saying, like, what do you mean? He's supposed to be governor. That's what he's supposed to be doing, not going and doing this other stuff. I don't know. I don't know why he's doing it. I think he should wait. I think he should just keep flirting with the idea publicly, like he has been for a couple months, but not make an announcement for campaigning. I think he should just keep the idea out there and then go and campaign for 2028. That's what I think he should do, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. JB, Ron is running so they can appoint Orange Eagle to Supreme Court. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. As long as things start looking better, I'll be happy. I don't care how they do it as long as they do it. What's up, Faded? I thought you were going to join me on Warzone yesterday. I was playing Warzone like in the middle of the day. I had a little free time. I was like, I wonder if Faded's just going to show up. What's up, Cheeky Chops? Let's see. Anna, apparently I was on the wrong feed. I couldn't see everyone. Yeah, we have a secret channel. We got to build up just in case things go left. Yeah, Miss Jamie, that's what I'm thinking too. Miss Jamie says, I love Ron, but he should run for 28. He's doing himself bad, doing what he's doing. Yeah, I don't know. And him and Orange Eagle have an interesting relationship because, like, lately people have been getting mad about the Orange Eagle saying bad stuff about Ron DeSantis, but it's just friendly competition. When he did the exclusive interview with Right Side Broadcasting, he said nothing but good things about Ron DeSantis. It's when they get out and they're doing their public speaking, they're making like snide remarks to each other. It's just part of the game. But they seem to be pretty cool in the background when they're not, under the spotlight. What's up, Lion's Heart? Happy freedom. You might be able to get another video in. KJP is 2 minutes late right now. I have the live pulled up, so I'm sitting here monitoring it. Paul, I'd show up at 4 a.m. all jacked up on coffee and cigarettes. That's what most people were doing. When I was working at the factory, there was people that were coming in all messed up on Adderall and all that stuff. They're just sitting there shaking with their coffee. People shaking because they have alcohol issues. It's just segregated by tables. It wasn't bad until the plague happened, and then we had these little glass dividers, and you'd sit down at the lunch table and you'd be engulfed by these little glass dividers, looking at all the employees in cages. That stuff used to stress me out in the day, and I would be mad. I'd go to work mad. I'd go to work tired and get to that lunchroom and be mad, seeing all the restrictions and infringement on our rights. That's how I actually lost the job, is standing up for our rights too much. Going in there and standing up for other employees and stuff and saying, hey, you guys are doing this, but according to federal law, you're not allowed to do that. And they would have to change the rules back after trying to infringe on our rights. And after so much of that, they fired me for it. They got rid of me because of it. But yeah, it is what it is. What's up, Bluefish? Let's see. Diane, lots of mailmen are drunk. Really? I don't know much about federal workers. I know they lose my mail all the time, so I mean things are starting to make sense now. Let's see. What's up, Chosen One? Bluefish, when is she ever on time? Yeah, that's true. I used to be able to talk about it a little bit more before I started being late for everything. It takes a long time to screen through these videos. There's a lot of rules on YouTube, and I have to worry about that stuff. I thought I'd be okay showing YouTube videos on YouTube, but I'm not. That's how I got my last strike, is I was showing a video from YouTube on YouTube, and they gave me a strike, but didn't strike the channel that I was showing. And it's because it was Forbes, or it was Fox, or it was Newsmax or something, where they got 1 million subscribers, so they're allowed to do, they can break the rules. It's fine. They got enough subscribers. But me, oh no. They demonized me, and I wrote customer service and tagged them on Twitter and all this stuff. They don't care. They don't care. They were like, yeah, but you broke the rules. And I listed 5 or 6 channels, showed the same exact thing that I showed and got in trouble for. And they were like, yeah, but we don't care. You showed it. You're in trouble. Okay. So until we get 1 million hooligans subscribed on the channel, I got to watch my P's and Q's and all that stuff. You know, watch every little thing I say. You'll notice when you cross over to the alternative platforms, I start speaking more clearly. It's because there isn't censorship hovering over me with a hammer. It's rough stuff. Salty Ragu says, Bunny, just in case any of you guys want to go to Michigan University, you can't say Bunny there, just so you know. What's up, Blue Crow? What's up, Roy? Happy freedom. Roy, you had some free time from not having a job? You think I don't have a job? I have like 6 or 7 jobs. I work from the time I get up until I go to sleep at 3 o'clock in the morning. You thought I didn't have a job. That's funny. That's funny. That's a good one. That's a good one. Let's see. I don't know. I would like to see Orange Eagle, I think, in the main office more than Supreme Court. I don't know what Supreme Court does other than be famous. Just sit out there and be famous. I'll never see them doing anything. Yeah, they did the Roe vs. Wade thing, but what are they doing with student loans right now? What's going on with that? They're just prolonging it. They're saying it's unconstitutional, but then they're not even doing anything about it. Shut it down or let it pass. I think they should shut it down, even though I have $41,000 in student loan debt. I don't want free money. It's my debt. I have to deal with it. I signed up for it. But we'll see. We'll see how that goes. I keep seeing teaser things. They're like, hey, by the end of the year, you'll be paying your student loans again. It's like, okay. Supreme Court hasn't passed anything or knocked anything down. Edward. Yeah. I know you tag me in all that funny stuff on Twitter. That's what most of my Twitter is you tagging me in hilarious things, and then I share it out. Let's see. Paul, manufacturing can be interesting. It can be. I don't know, Lion's Heart. I've heard so much stuff about the weather and stuff. I used to watch a channel that all they did was talk about space weather and things the sun was doing and all this stuff. There's so much pressure on the planet and all this. And I used to watch that and keep track of all of it, but it's kind of like watching... I used to get the same feeling watching AJ. It's like, oh, these terrible things are coming and they're all coming to do this stuff and it's all going to happen today and blah, 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 blah. And then a week goes by and none of that stuff came true. I mean, things he says does come true, but they make you feel like the sky is falling today. You live like that, under that stress and making preparations for things, and then it doesn't happen. It's as bad as dealing with those Q people. A lot of people watch that, and I don't know how they do that. It's hopium. They're like, oh yeah, at 5:12 you'll get a text message on your phone from the government, but it's not the real government, it's the secret government, but they're really working for the Orange Eagle, and so when you get the text message, you got to do 3 Hail Marys and stick your finger 2 inches up your back door, but if you do more or less than 2 inches, you will not be able to receive the love of the Lord. And it's like, what are you talking about? Like, what are you talking about? It's already 6 o'clock in the afternoon. You missed it. You missed it. And they're like, well, maybe it'll happen tomorrow. No, you guys are soaking up hopium. Get off of that. Get off the hopium. I don't know. I don't pay attention to space weather. I don't pay attention to the real weather. I don't pay attention to what the Q people say. I don't pay attention to what AJ says. I'm just here to laugh at everything. That's all I'm here for. Lion's Heart, she might be on time for once. No, she's late. She's late. She's almost, what is she, 8 minutes late or something like that, but it's all good. It's all good. Let's see. Oh, Lion's Heart, I misread what you had wrote. Once a month. Yeah, you're right. You're right. What's up, Maynard? Happy freedom. Oh, let's see. A lot of people are mad at Orange Eagle about the jab. I think that was a specific situation. He's already spoke about it. I can't say this stuff until we get off of YouTube, but he's already spoke about the whole jab situation. Just messed my thing up. JB, yeah, that stuff will make YouTube mad. Hopefully we survive this video we have coming up talking about third parties, those shapeshifters and stuff. I think it's worded soft enough to where we'll be okay, but yeah, YouTube protects criminals just like police in Chicago. Let's see. Girth, me too. It's rough stuff. I think they should make it in a can. You can get a BJ whenever you want to. You just go in the fridge and crack it open. People would be in trouble if we could get that. Why not? We got everything else that's all synthetic. Just reading through the chat really quick. If she doesn't get on stage in a couple more minutes, we're going to play something. We'll play the next video. Guy dub or else. That's what I'm saying. I don't know. All that I don't like that hopium stuff. I used to like not follow it, but I used to allow it in the communities for Discord and all that, but you would see everyone get their hopes up and everyone would be sitting there live like counting down the seconds, and then nothing would happen. Nothing would happen at all. And then everyone feels terrible. They feel terrible after that. They're like, well, it didn't happen. No one's coming to save us. We really have to keep living like this. I don't think I can take it anymore. And it's like, oh my God, you people are just picking everyone up and then you're just dropping them right on their head. And it's not fair to people who are trusting. And so I had to stop having people do that. If people are posting Q stuff, I had to be like, nah, you gotta go take that somewhere else. You can't post that here. I don't want trusting hooligans to become hardened. It hardens your heart. And stop thinking that people are going to save you. No one's coming to save you. But we're all in this together. We can save ourselves, but we got to stay mentally fit to do that. And following crazy stuff like the Q people, like that's not going to work. It's not going to work. What's up, Wugga? Happy freedom. Solid Regu, double, triple secret. I know. What's up, Glenn? Happy freedom. What's up, Firmus? Grateful Ed. I don't think it's all that. I don't even think Orange Eagle's up to date. Edward tagged me in a flyer. I can't remember where it was for specifically, because I want to say it was a specific state, but they were posting flyers about the jab saying, hey, if you got 1 and 2, they're expired on this day. You need to go and re-up. Like, I don't know. It's been a while since they've been pushing that ever since. Oh, what was that channel that's not really around anymore? They exposed all that stuff. The company, the employees, and then they took the head guy and fired him. And now he's on his own. Ah, man, I can't think of what it's called. They're like a underground news network or whatever, but they were undercover interviewing employees that work with the jab and all that as some sort of flamboyant date night and getting them to spill secrets about what their job was and then exposing it. Oh, man, I can't remember what it's called. I'm sure you guys will remember what I'm talking about, but I don't know. I haven't seen any promotion for the jab since then. Yeah, Miss Jamie. They all were, and I think it's because that was the answer at the time. People didn't want to be stuck in the house. People didn't want to be wearing compliance cloths and stuff like that, and so they were like, well, here's the answer. You go and do this and you won't have to do that anymore. And then everybody went and did it, and then they were like, no, you still got to comply. And it's like, I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, Guy Dub, we're going to be covering that stuff a little bit later. Let me see what channel it's gonna be on, because I gotta watch it, everything. Oh, it is gonna be on YouTube. We are gonna show it on YouTube in a little bit. What's up, Granados? Happy freedom. Veritas, thank you. Yes, Project Veritas. I don't even know if they're around anymore. After they got rid of the head guy, everybody backed off. Yeah, so you guys knew what I was talking about. Project Veritas. I can't remember the guy's name, but he's like kind of in the background now. It was like front page every day. It's like, yo, this is what Veritas is doing. Not anymore. What's up, Patriot Roy? Happy freedom. They're going to make it a big show when all the president nominees show up and debate or name call. They are, and that is going to be a huge trick to everyone that runs YouTube. Everybody that runs a YouTube channel, when the presidential debates come out, they're going to want to cover it. They're going to get tons of views and tons of donations, and then the next day they're going to get banned because you cannot show Orange Eagle. You can't show that stuff. So many people were trying to do it on YouTube and got banned for the CNN situation because people don't learn. They think that they can do what Right Side Broadcasting does, and they cannot. Right Side Broadcasting gets away with a lot of stuff, but even they get strikes. And they got like 2 million subscribers, probably more now. And even they get strikes. You cannot show the Orange Eagle on YouTube. I say it all the time, and people argue with me, and I don't know how, like, I won't show it because I've caught 6-7 strikes over that over the last 3 years I've been doing this. I won't even attempt it anymore. The presidential debate stuff, that's what's going to happen. That is exactly what's going to happen. Anytime they show Orange Eagle, anybody who supports him and is all excited to show him, they're going to display him and lose their channel. By the time it comes down to November, nobody will know anything about the Orange Eagle because he's not allowed on YouTube. It's messed up. It's all messed up. What's up, JB the Cook? What's up, George? What's up, WMM? Happy freedom. So we're going to move to the press briefing. It just started. KJP's not on stage yet. I see Jacqui's there. What's a Rada or Rada? Mr. Beans and Beans, who do you think the VP pick will be? You think it's going to be Lake or MTG? I think both of those would be awesome. I think both of those would be awesome. What's up, Slink? What is OMG? I seen people typing that, but I thought they were getting frustrated I wasn't reading the comments. Oh, here we go.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Prostitute.
Okay, a couple of things for you at the top. So, a few things that I want to say about the current state of play on budget negotiations and averting default. So, for starters, this is a manufactured crisis, plain and simple. That's what we're seeing currently. That's what we've been dealing with for the past couple of weeks, a manufactured crisis. And don't take our word for it. Just listen to members of the House Freedom Caucus. They've been very honest about this and are now openly, they're saying the quiet thing out loud, referring to the full faith and credit of...
That's hilarious for her to make that phrase.
But I do want to be clear here. Averting default is the responsibility of every single member of Congress. Think about what's at stake here. And that's what we've been doing. We've been laying out for weeks, for months, what is at stake. A default would have catastrophic impacts in every single part of this country, whether you're in a red state or in a blue state. It doesn't matter. Every single part of the country. We're talking about millions of jobs lost, devastated retirement accounts, and a recession. We've also heard some House Republicans refer to preventing default as the only concession they are willing to make. But preventing a catastrophic default is not a concession, it's their job, period. And let's be clear about what Republicans are demanding in exchange for doing their job and preventing a default. Earlier this year, they put forward an extreme package of devastating cuts that would slash support for education, law enforcement, food assistance. The list goes on and on and on and on. By what now would be about 30%. That is not at all what the American people want. That is not what they deserve. That is not what they're asking for. And the president has made clear, he's made this very clear, that that is not happening on his watch. House Republicans have said we need to make these cuts in the name of fiscal responsibility and deficit reduction. But that's not what this is about. That's never been what this is about for them. Because even as they fight to gut investments in hardworking families, they want to turn around and protect tax breaks skewed to the wealthy and corporations. And guess what? Just last week, the nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office said those tax cuts would add $3.5 trillion to the debt over the next decade. And don't forget this. It was under President Trump, the last president, not President Biden, that America's debt increased by 40%. Again, by 40% under the last president. During President Biden's first 2 years in office, he cut the deficit by $1.7 trillion. Now, folks, that's a record. And in March, he released a plan that would reduce the deficit by another nearly $3 trillion over 10 years. Not by slashing programs hardworking families can count on, but by cutting wasteful spending on special interest and by asking the wealthy and big corporations to begin paying their fair share, including closing loopholes. Those are the contrasting vision that these negotiations started with. That's where we began with the negotiations. Now look, the president and the speaker have agreed. They both have said this. They both have said they agreed that default is not an option. It is off the table. The speaker himself has publicly acknowledged that for any agreement to pass the House, the Senate, and to reach the desk of the president, it's going to need support from Democrats. That is the reality that we're in. The president's team will continue to negotiate in good faith to reach a reasonable, bipartisan budget agreement. That's what the president and the speaker agreed to, and that's what they tasked their teams with reaching from this outset. And that's the only way to move forward here on behalf. This is on behalf of American families, on behalf of the American people. So, if I've left you with any doubt about House Republicans' priorities in just a few hours, all you got to do is check yourself. House Republicans will vote on a resolution to block President Biden's plan to provide up to $20,000 in student debt relief to borrowers, who most of whom make less than $75,000 a year. The president's plan is a good one. It's a popular one, and it will help prevent borrowers from default when loan payments restart this summer. The choice House Republicans make today will send a clear message to their constituents. Let's take a look. Will Marjorie Taylor Greene, who had $183,000 of her own business loans forgiven, vote to deny debt relief to the 92,000 student borrowers she represents? Will Representative Vern Buchanan, who had over $2.3 million of business loans forgiven, vote to deny student debt relief for 95,000 of his own constituents? To the more than 40 million eligible student borrowers who are eagerly waiting to learn about the fate of their debt relief, I urge you to tune in today's vote to watch which Republican lawmakers shamelessly vote against debt relief for you after having their own loans forgiven. And know this, President Biden won't stand for it. He will not stand for it, and he will veto this bill. Because let's be clear, this is not about cutting wasteful spending for Republicans, and it never has been. The same Republican lawmakers objecting to student debt relief are refusing to cut billions of dollars in handouts to big oil. They even had their own loans forgiven, as I just laid out, and you just saw on the chart to my left here. Meanwhile, President Biden has reduced the deficit $1.7 trillion and put forward a plan to cut wasteful spending and the deficit by another $3 trillion over the next decade. And finally, I want to say a few words about a somber occasion that we are marking today here at the White House. 1 year ago, The president was in his office on Air Force One, returning from an official trip to Asia, when he saw breaking news of a school shooting in Uvalde, Texas. Like millions of Americans, he was horrified and heartbroken. Yet again, our nation had lost innocent young children and teachers in a deadly act of gun violence at school. When the president landed back at the White House that evening, he was briefed in the Oval Office and addressed the nation from the Roosevelt Room. He grieved for the families in Uvalde and called on Congress to act. The following Sunday, the president and the First Lady traveled to Uvalde to visit a memorial outside Robb Elementary, attend a mass with grieving members of the community, and spend time with the families who lost loved ones in the attack. The shooting in Uvalde had also come 10 days after the devastating mass shooting in Buffalo. And together, these attacks became a catalyst for the passage of the bipartisan Safer Communities Act in Congress. Since then, in addition to signing the most significant gun legislation in 30 years, the president has continued to implement 2 dozen executive actions to help reduce gun violence and keep weapons of war out of dangerous hands. But he has continued to say that it's not enough. It is not enough. And he's continued to call on Congress to take action. This afternoon, President Biden and Dr. Biden, the First Lady, will mark 1 year since that tragic day in Uvalde, which stole the lives of 19 children and 2 teachers and injured 17 others. The president will remember those lost with prayer. He will pray for the survivors, the children, the first responders, and community members who will bear the trauma and scars from that day for the rest of their lives. And he will reiterate this call for Republicans in Congress to help stop the epidemic of gun violence that has become the #1 killer of our kids in America. From universal background checks to requiring safe storage of guns, to ending immunity from liability for gun manufacturers, to banning assault weapons and high-capacity magazines, we need Congress to enact common sense policies that Americans.
What about the assault U-Hauls?
Is a tragic reminder of the urgency to pass gun safety legislation. With that, Darlene, please take it away.
Thank you. A couple of questions on the debt limit. There was a change of venue today for the talks. The negotiators are here. Can you tell us if the president perhaps might have dropped in, and why are the negotiators meeting here versus Capitol Hill, where they've been meeting since the beginning?
So as you know, as you just stated, Darlene, they've been meeting since the beginning on Capitol Hill. We truly appreciate the Speaker's hospitality for those important budget negotiations, and we just felt it was time for a change. I wouldn't read too much into the change of venue, but we are glad to be hosting the negotiators here. Just to add a little bit more color, it's happening in the OMB offices at EOB, which is just on the other side of West Exec. And it started around noon today, and it's still continuing.
Can you say whether any contingencies are in place or are being made for the president's travel in the event of the default? The White House had previously announced that he's traveling to Colorado on June 1st, which could be default day, to speak at the commencement for the U.S. Air Force Academy.
As you just stated, the plan is for the president on June 1st to go speak to the graduates at U.S. Air Force, which happens to be in Colorado. And so the president, as commander-in-chief, is looking forward to certainly giving that commencement. Look, our job and our focus and what we're going to try to do, and that's what the negotiators have been doing for these past several of meetings, is to certainly to continue to work on this budget negotiations and to avoid default. The President has been very clear. Congress needs to act. We need to avoid default. And so we are going to work very hard to make sure that that we don't get to that X date.
And then just a quick one, has there been any, has the President reached out to the governor of Guam with the typhoon approaching or inching over the island there?
So don't have any calls to read out, just a couple of things. The President has been briefed on the typhoon and is continuing, we're going to continue to look at the impact that the typhoon will certainly have in Guam. On Monday night, the President approved an emergency declaration for Guam and ordered federal assistance to supplement territory and local response. Federal agencies, including FEMA, Coast Guard, U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, and the National Guard, have been deployed and are coordinating response effort. The White House is in close contact with the government of Guam and has offered as much support as needed to respond to this tragic major storm.
Thank you, Karine. Can you help Americans understand what will practically happen on X day? There will still be money left. What is the rate of the cash flow, and where will the money be prioritized? Whether it's Medicaid checks, Social Security checks, what happens on that day?
So as I've said, look, that's not the as you speak to prioritization. That is not the plan.
Words are hard.
Catastrophe. It would throw the economy into chaos. So just want to be really clear about this. The Secretary of Treasury said and has said this as well, that prioritization is effectively a default. Stephen Munchkin said, and I quote, "That doesn't make sense. The government should honor all of its obligations and the debt limit should be raised." Jack Lew, I think prioritization is just default by another name. Timothy Geithner, prioritization is unworkable, harmful, and the world would recognize it as a first ever failure by the United States to meet its commitment. The only way to avoid this kind of economic disaster is for Congress to do its job. It's for Congress to act, to prevent default, and that's going to be our focus at this time.
And I hear that, but I think a lot of Americans don't understand what's going to happen practically. Can you help us understand that?
So look, here's the thing. This is why we have said would be catastrophic to our economy if there is a default. We've been very clear. We've laid out what could potentially happen. Remember, this would be our first ever default. If it were to happen, we're going to do everything that we can to avoid this. That's why we've been asking for Congress to act. But a couple of things that this would lead to. It would wipe out millions of jobs, up to 8 million jobs. It would trigger a recession. It would devastate retirement accounts. It would increase costs. It would damage our international reputation. This is what could potentially happen if we default. Again, we are not a deadbeat nation. That's what the President has said. We have been able to pay our debts since 1960. We did it 78 times. So, and that's just one part of what could happen.
You're not a deadbeat nation. You always pay your debts, but students shouldn't have to pay their debts, but they're not deadbeats, right?
Think about unemployment rate at the lowest, at one of the lowest that we have seen, 3.4%. That could hurt that. The manufacturing boom, the 80,000 new jobs that we were able to create with manufacturing jobs, that could be gone. The $1.7 trillion of deficit that the President was able to do the first 2 years, a record, that could be all gone. So that is what's at stake. And we believe the American people understand that. And so we're going to do everything that we can to make sure that that doesn't happen.
And just one more on the negotiations. McCarthy has made very clear what Republicans are asking for. The White House has made clear where President Biden is willing to meet them halfway. But what concessions are the White House trying to get in this deal? In other words, what are you going to get out of this deal other than raising the debt ceiling?
So look, a couple of things, and I've said this, I think I said this yesterday, the president said this on Sunday, certainly not going to negotiate from here, but I'll lay out a couple of things that the president has been very clear. We put forward a proposal that cuts spending by more than $1 trillion. That's on top of what the president put in his budget on March 9th, which is a $3 trillion cut in deficit over 10 years. And the president has made clear that he and congressional Democrats cannot support devastating cuts that would slash law enforcement, education, and food assistance. So we've been very clear on those pieces. We've said this over and over again. Just not going to get into specifics from here beyond what the president laid out on Sunday.
Thank you.
Thanks, Karine. Republican negotiators have been talking a lot on the Hill. And one of the concerns that they've raised is that the White House negotiators have not been empowered by the White House. They say Young and Ricchetti are talented and that they work hard, but felt that they were being hamstrung by the White House. Can you speak to that and whether the White House negotiators are being empowered by the White House?
They're absolutely empowered. This is a team that the president selected himself. These are long-term advisors, I should say, advisors to the president. If you think about Steve Ricchetti, if you think about Louisa, who've been around him since he's been senator, and you think about Shalanda Young, the OMB director, who has had an impressive history working on the Hill and also here working for the president. These are talented, extremely talented and experienced individuals who are now part of this negotiation team for the president on the budget, and the president trusts them and really believes that they can get the work.
Blink, blink, blink. Her brain's resetting. Doom, 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 doom.
Productive, as you know. They are meeting right now at OMB with the House negotiators. There are always going to be disagreements, right? And I said this yesterday. I kind of went into how negotiations work. It is a democracy in action, right? No one is going to get everything that they want. That's something that when you negotiate, you have to understand. And so, look, the big and important thing is that we are talking. That's part of negotiation, is talking, and the talks continue, and we believe that there is still an opportunity here to get to a bipartisan, reasonable bipartisan agreement that Republicans and Democrats in the House and the Senate can move forward with.
Can I also ask you about essentially the lack of a significant market reaction to these talks? There are analysts out there who feel that a market reaction could actually serve as kind of a forcing mechanism to move the sides closer together. My question is, has the lack of a market activity maybe hurt your efforts, maybe hurt the White House's bargaining position, negotiating position?
So I'll say this, I got to be very careful as we're talking about the markets here. I'm not going to speak about the markets reacting or moving. That is not something I'm going to do from here. What I know and what we believe is that the American people, they understand what's going on. They understand what's at stake. And so what we are going to do is focus on them. That is the most important thing here, making sure that American families get what they need, right, to make the ends meet as they think about what is it that there is needed in their household, right? Having those conversations, those really important conversations that many American families have almost every month, if some of them even more. And so that is our focus. We know. I just read out what could potentially happen. What could potentially happen if we default? Millions of jobs, trigger a recession. We can't allow that to happen. This is why we're continuing to have these conversations. This is why the president has been very firm on how Congress needs to do their job and deal with the debt limit.
But isn't the lack of a reaction representative that Americans aren't as concerned as to the things that you're laying out? Does that hurt
I
you?
appreciate the question. I'm just not going to speak to the market. That is not.
Is that a phone ringing or is that wind chimes?
What I'm going to speak to.
That's the breeze blowing through her head where her brain is supposed to be.
What would be catastrophic to American families, and that's why the president has been very, very clear on this. He has held the line on this for a couple of months, which is Congress needs to act. They need to deal with the debt limit, just like they have done 78 times since 1960.
Great. Thanks, Karine. Francisco was just talking about what Republicans have said about your negotiators. Can you characterize how you guys feel about Congressman McHenry and Graves and how they've been negotiating up to this point?
Look, what I can say is that the negotiations have been productive, which is what matters. The conversations continue, which is what matters. And the focus is on what the leaders said themselves, what Speaker McCarthy and what the President said as well, which is default is off the table. We're going to continue to negotiate in good faith. And if that is what occurs, then we can get to a bipartisan, reasonable negotiation or deal on a budget deal, and that's what's important. And so that's going to be our focus here.
Given where Republican offers currently stand, are there any regrets about entering the negotiations since they haven't seemed to have moved all that much from where they were originally?
So we believe they've been productive. That's what we believe. We believe the conversations, these negotiations remain productive, and that's the path that we're going to continue on. We believe that there's a path here to move forward. Of course, there's going to be areas of disagreement. That's what negotiations are all about, right? That's why that's why we're negotiating here. But look, we believe that we.
Girth, you just broke me. That was a good one.
Bipartisan, reasonable agreement. That again, let's not forget this. This agreement has to get the support of.
Girth said her wig is made of butt hair. I gotta get some coffee. I'll be right back.
You just said repeatedly that you thought that talks had been productive, but you also opened the briefing by putting some House Republicans on blast that you put up on the screen. So how have talks been productive?
So look, I just laid out the facts. That's all. What I did was lay out the facts that I've been talking about and highlighting for the past several months. And I think it's always important to do that. I think it's always important when I'm in front of you all and when I'm talking to the American people for them to know exactly what's happening. And that's what I did. Now, are the talks productive? Yes, we believe that the negotiations, the budget negotiations that have been happening continue to be productive. But at the same time, I think it's important to lay out the facts for the American people as they are wondering and curious about what is happening right here in Washington, D.C.
But what is the progress, the specific progress that's been made?
I'm not going to get into specifics about what's being discussed in these negotiations. We're going to give the negotiators some space, as we've been saying, to negotiate, to have a discussion, to have a conversation. We have been very clear. Yes, are there areas of disagreement? Absolutely, which is what negotiations are all about. We're moving in good faith, having those conversations in good faith, and we believe it's a path forward to get to, again, that bipartisan, reasonable budget agreement, because that is what is needed for it to actually move out of the House and move out of the Senate into the desk of the President.
And then lastly, on that point, June 1st, just around the corner, does the White House believe that it will have the money to keep paying the United States' bills beyond June 1st? Would it be a day, 2 days, how long?
So look, any specifics on the X date and what that's going to look like post X date, that's something that the Treasury Department is going to answer, or that's something that they're going to look at. I'm not going to speak from here. What I can tell you is our focus is to avoid that. Our focus is to give the negotiators some space, to continue to have this conversation, to continue to come to an agreement that is bipartisan, that can get out of the House, get out of the Senate, and get to the President's desk so he can sign it. And that's going to be our focus right now. Go ahead, Tony.
Over the past day or so, it seems like there's been some really tough talk from officials about Speaker McCarthy basically saying he's talking out of both sides of his mouth, accusing him of, in public, claiming he's willing to negotiate, and in private, rejecting any compromise. Does the President believe he's dealing with someone who is negotiating in good faith?
The President believes that negotiations are actually remaining productive, and that's what's important. The conversations that are happening with his team, right? This is a team when it comes to who we're dealing with on the other side of Pennsylvania, right? The group of House negotiators, that is Speaker McCarthy's team, and so they remain to be productive. We believe that if they continue to work in good faith and recognize that neither side is going to get what they want, we can get this done. We can get this done.
Is negotiating in good faith.
That's been our experience as we're dealing with their negotiators, and that's what we're saying. If it keeps going in good faith, then we can get to an agreement here that is bipartisan and that will get out of the House and get out of the Senate.
And If necessary, is the president willing to sign a temporary extension of the debt limit in order to get this deal done?
Look, just not going to get into any short-term or temporary pieces of legislation. What we're trying to get to is something that has been done 78 times since 1960, is raise the debt limit. That's something that Congress has done. You know, we're talking about, when you're talking about what's happening, what this manufactured crisis, this would be the first time that we could potentially default. And we should not be doing that. This is not something that this nation is known for. You heard the president say over and over again, we are not a deadbeat nation. Look, we're going to let the negotiators do their job, continue to have the conversation, and we believe that there's a path forward.
So it's not taking a temporary extension off the table?
I'm just saying that that's not the conversation that we're focused on. The conversation that we're focused on is dealing with a budget negotiation that is bipartisan and that is reasonable. That's what's important right now, and continuing to call on Congress to raise the debt limit or to do their job. Simple. Go ahead.
Karine, on the debt ceiling, is there a drop dead? I mean, big surprise, right? Is there a drop dead date where, you know, after which it becomes impossible to enact the legislation that's necessary? You know, so do you have to have a deal tonight, tomorrow? You know, is Friday enough time to get to that potential X date?
No, I get this. I get the question. Look, our country has never defaulted on its debt, and it never will. And that's kind of our focus, right? We've never done this, and this will never happen, right? That's the way we see this, you know, that's going to be our focus. That's the answer that I have for you on that piece.
Can you say a word about contingency planning in terms of, you know, special measures? The Treasury is taking extraordinary measures. There are additional novel approaches that have been described by various think tanks or economists or experts. Would the president prefer some, you know, extra or additional extraordinary measures to having to invoke the 14th Amendment?
So, as it relates to the 14th Amendment, the president has been very clear. That is just not the answer here. The answer here is for Congress to do its job, like they did 78 times since 1960. That's the answer. As it relates to the X date itself, that's something that the Treasury Department will do. That's clearly on their watch. That is something that they will focus on. And so I'm just going to leave it to the Secretary. I believe she did an interview earlier this morning. And so I would refer you to the Treasury Department on this particular question.
Specifically on Amanda Gorman's puppet being banned in Florida elementary school. Do you have a comment on that move?
Sure. So look, the president was proud to have Miss Gorman, the youngest inaugural poet, speak at his inauguration, as you all know, just a little over 2 years ago. As Miss Gorman said herself, the poem, "The Hill We Climb," was written so that all young people would see themselves in a historical moment. And the president and his administration certainly stand with her, as he was, again, very proud to have her at his inauguration. Banning books is censorship, period. That's what that is. When you ban a book, you are censoring. It limits American freedom, Americans' freedom, and we should all stand against that type of act when it comes to banning of books. Okay.
Yesterday, you said that everyone is working in good faith, and you said today's briefing that the House Speaker is working in good faith. You spoke to the hostage taking and saying the quiet part out loud now. Do you think that other congressional Republicans are working in good faith? And what do you say to congressional Democrats who feel cut out of the process and feel like Republicans have taken control of the narrative?
So look, I can't speak to other Republicans. They can speak for themselves. You can see their quotes and what they have said, and we've been certainly reporting that. So I'll leave their words, let their words speak for themselves. I'll leave that there. Look, as it relates to other Democrats, look, the president is fighting to protect clean energy manufacturing. He's fighting to protect student debt relief and to lower costs for prescription drugs and to save the government money. That is what he is fighting for. He's fighting against proposals that take away people's health care and push people into poverty. And so the president has been very clear on that. He'll continue to do that, but it is important to have these types of budget negotiations. It is important in those budget negotiations to, again, make sure that we have a bipartisan, reasonable budget agreement that both Democrats and Republicans can support in the House and in the Senate. And so that's going to be the president's focus.
And on the U-Haul truck, you said yesterday that the president had been briefed on that. Has the president been briefed since, or has the White House learned any more about the suspect's alleged interest in Nazis and Hitler?
So look, I don't have anything more to share. The president certainly has been kept up to date. As I said yesterday morning, he was briefed. He was given a briefing from Secret Service and also the Park Police of what they know so far. He was relieved to hear that no one was hurt that night, and he was very complimentary and grateful to the agents and law enforcement officers who quickly responded. And so anything else, any details or information about the particular individual, I would have to refer you to the U.S. Secret Service. I just don't have anything in more details to share. Go ahead, Karen.
Thanks. Speaker McCarthy continues to criticize the president for not meeting with him for 97 days to talk about these issues. Given how close we are to this June 1st deadline with no deal at this point, does the president have any regret for not engaging with McCarthy over that time?
We've been very clear, Karen. I appreciate the question, and I know what the speaker has been saying, but we've also been very clear for the past several months of where we are and what's at stake and how important it is for Congress to do their job, their constitutional duty. We've been very clear for months and months. And look, the president put his budget out on March 9th. He laid out in a very clear way on how he sees his values, right? We talked about values here in the president's quote about that, and how he sees the economy moving forward to help the American people. We put that out on March 9th for not just Americans to see, but for certainly for House Republicans in Congress to see. And so they put out their budget or passed their budget on April 26th, and a few days after that the president started the budget negotiations, and that's what he laid out. That's what he said he was going to do, put out his budget, asked the House Republicans to put their budget. They didn't pass it until April 26th. After that we started the budget negotiations. And so again, been very clear about this, and at the same time holding the line and saying how important it is for Congress to do their jobs, to do their constitutional duty.
Will the president commit to staying in D.C. until they reach an agreement, or will he travel over the holiday weekend?
So look, the president will be wherever he needs to be to secure reasonable bipartisan deal to prevent the economic catastrophe that Republicans are threatening, this manufactured crisis. And so that is what he's going to do. He'll do that wherever he needs to be. I'll note a couple of things on his schedule so you all are aware. I think you all are tracking this. He will be participating in a wreath-laying ceremony and delivering the Memorial Day address at Arlington National Cemetery. That's what he'll be doing on Monday, on Memorial Day, as always. He will receive regular updates from his staff and keep in touch with members of Congress. And he is president wherever he needs to be, and that's what you're going to see from this president.
One more. Do you have any comment on the Federal Trade Commission investigating whether baby formula makers colluded on bids for state contracts? Is there any concern about the stability of the formula market?
So I don't have any comment to make at this time, so I'll just leave that there. Okay, Peter.
A couple quick questions. I'll leave some of the other questions related to potential for default to others. But there is a new COVID wave in China right now that's getting a lot of attention. How closely is the U.S. tracking this new wave? And is there any conversation right now about potential travel restrictions, or would that not be necessary given the U.S. has already experienced this variant, it seems?
So look, I'll do your last question first. There's no changes of travel that I will be announcing from here. Don't have any conversations to speak of at this time. Of course, we're always monitoring. That's something that we do when things like this occur, but just don't have any update for you at this time.
Does the U.S. feel like it's getting accurate information as it relates to this COVID wave from China?
So look, it's not a conversation that I've had with our teams here, so I can't give an official comment on that. But certainly this is something that we continue to monitor. I just don't have anything to preview or to announce at this time.
And within the last hour, we learned that Tina Turner passed away. She was 83. I didn't, clearly a surprise to you. I didn't know if the White House had any heads up or if the president had any comment, but I'll give you time to
So, look, that is the first time I'm hearing that. That is incredibly sad news. Tina Turner was an icon, a music icon who had many stages and many amazing moments in her career. Very sad to hear the news. I was a huge fan of Tina Turner. As you can see from my reaction, that is the first that I'm hearing of it. And it is a massive loss to the communities that loved her. And certainly to the music industry, and her music will continue to live on. Very sad news. Our hearts go out to her family and her friends on their loss. Okay, I'll go to the back. Go ahead, Ed.
Thanks, Karine. So on the debt ceiling, you used words like catastrophic and devastating today, but the president, again, is going to Camp David this weekend and then going to Delaware. If the situation is so dire, then why is the president?
Well, I already answered that question. So you have another one?
But more specific.
I literally just answered that question.
He came back from Japan.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No.
Any other question?
No, that's it.
Okay, great. So keep going. Go ahead, sir.
When's the last time that has
What a douchebag.
spoken since Monday? And if not, when are they expected to maybe speak and engage one-on-one again?
So I don't have any conversation to preview at this time. Look, the president and the speaker will speak when the time is right, when the time is necessary to do that. We are giving, I've said this moments ago, we're going to give the negotiators some time to have a conversation, to continue to negotiate. We believe the talks are moving in a productive way, and so I'll leave it there.
What does that time look? I mean, is there sort of a specific sort of narrowing that has to happen before the two?
There's no timeline to throw at you or to lay out to you. I'm just saying that it's been productive. They're here meeting right now. They started around noon today. We are hosting, as you know, the negotiations today at the EOB, at the office of, at the OMB offices, and so we'll leave it there, continue to give them the space. Go ahead, Owen, way in the back.
Karine, thank you. Good afternoon. Two separate questions for you. One on Senator Tuberville. If he continues to prevent or hold up Pentagon promotions, he says the DOD's new abortion policy is illegal. And he says taxpayer dollars should not be funding abortions. And he's got a lot of support. There's a petition going around right now supporting his stance. What does the White House say to Americans who agree with Senator Tuberville?
I'll say this. I'll speak to this. Senator Tuberville he's threatening, right, our national security with his political gamesmanship. That's what we're seeing from the senator, and risking our military readiness by depriving armed forces of leadership and harming military families. That is what's currently happening. That is what the senator is threatening here. So we urge him to drop his holds on that he has currently on DOD nominees immediately, and that's what you'll hear from us.
And a separate story here, and this is one that's really caught the eye of a lot of Catholics and Christians, and frankly, they're hurt by this. The LA Dodgers are honoring a group called the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence during a Pride Night game next month. The Archdiocese of LA, Catholic leaders there, say the group mocks the Catholic faith and women religious who serve the poor and sick, and is asking all Catholics to stand against bigotry and hate in any form. The president is Catholic, we all know. What is his reaction to this story, please?
Look, I appreciate the question, Owen. I'm just not going to get into the middle of who a sports team is going to honor or should not honor. That's just not something that I'm going to get in the middle of.
The president has made it, it's very important to him, religious freedom. He's issued statements on it in the past saying all people of all religions should be treated with equal dignity and respect. I know you what you said. You just said there. You kind of want to stay out of it, but isn't this a prime example of something like that?
I'm just not going to get in the middle of who a sports team decides to honor or not honor. That is not going to get in the middle of that. But appreciate the question. Go ahead, Jacqui.
One off topic first. What do you all make of Hillary Clinton defending Dianne Feinstein over questions about her age, but not defending President Biden for the same questions about
So I
his
have not
impeachment.
heard these comments, so I can't speak to it.
Okay. Moving on. CNN poll shows 60% of Americans are looking for or would support cuts to spending along with raising the debt limit. Have you seen that polling, and what do you make of that?
So look, this is what I believe Americans understand. They understand that they want to make sure that the government, that we are working for them, right? We're working on making sure that millions of jobs don't get lost, that we protect their retirement accounts, that we make sure that we don't lose the gains that we've made in the last 2 years as far as manufacturing jobs, as far as seeing unemployment at its lowest rate, 3.4%, creating 12.7 million jobs. Those are the gains that we've made, and we understand that the Americans understand that wholeheartedly. Look, this is a president who has not taken a back seat when it comes to deficit reduction. $1.7 trillion that he's been able to cut the deficit by in the first 2 years. That is a historic record. You put that on top of the $3 trillion over the last 10 years in that budget that he put out on March 9th. This is a president who understands how important it is to cut spending. That's why he also talked about wasteful spending, right, that we're seeing, those subsidies that we are seeing that big oil and big pharma get, and making sure that we get rid of those subsidies. And so he understands what the American people are looking for. They made that very clear. They've made that very clear in the last election. And so that's what the president's going to continue to focus on.
Treasury started reaching out to federal agencies to see if they can slide any payments in early June, which would effectively allow Treasury Secretary to push back the X date by more time. Has the White House at all been coordinating with Treasury on that? Is that something that the White House want to see, that date moved?
We're not coordinating with the Treasury Department. That is there for their decision to make.
And then last one, Kevin McCarthy's had dozens of gaggles and press conferences about this. Is that at all instructive to the president, who has been somewhat media shy, in terms of controlling the narrative here around this?
I feel strongly by saying this. The president is certainly not media shy. He would disagree with that characterization of him. He has been talking about. He spoke to this on Monday. He spoke to this on Sunday when he was in Japan, and the president has been very clear where he stands on what Congress should be doing, which is dealing with the debt limit, something that is their constitutional duty. He's been very clear by speaking through his budget that he put out on March 9th on what he sees the value of this country, how he sees moving forward with the economy, an economy that he helped put back on his feet by the successes that we have seen as far as 12.7 million jobs, low unemployment rate at 3.4%, manufacturing boom, and that's all happened under this president because of the economic policy that he's had. Folks, I will see you tomorrow. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Prostitute.
Well, there's the White House press briefing. Super informative. KJP didn't say anything. She had some attitude there at the end. Just a little bit. Just a little bit of an attitude. Just getting her feathers ruffled up. Ting Ting no Doocy. No, he wasn't there today. Jacqui was. I don't know if she got called on, though. I was getting coffee for a second there. What's up, C Bravo? Happy freedom. What's up, Mike? What's up, Ink Scars? Happy freedom. Daryl, I think that's the name of a song. What's up, Sky Queen? Happy freedom. Bubba, you think she's cute? Nah, I don't know. I don't like all the lying. I don't like all the lying. Lion, tigers, and bears. What's up, Christine? Happy freedom. Alright, so we got a few more videos before we move over to Rumble. Let's see where we are. This next video is titled, I Thought Surely This Can't Be True. Pat Fallon or whatever his name is, stunned by Old Man Walter's gas stove rules. They're not just coming for our gas stoves. They're coming for water heaters, your furnace, dishwasher, all that stuff. We're not allowed to have that. And they'll disguise it, so we'll be happy to forfeit our right to it. Let's get her started.
I want to welcome everyone. Without objection, the chair may declare a recess at any time. I ask unanimous consent for Representatives Palmer of Alabama, Representative Issa from California, Representative Moskowitz from Florida to waive onto this committee for the purposes of asking questions during this hearing. Without objection, so ordered. I recognize myself for the purpose of making an opening statement. Today we're going to examine the Department of Energy's proposed rule on conventional cooktop stoves, and more specifically, its de facto ban on gas stoves. This proposed rule is just one in a series of recent actions that embody the Biden administration's whole-of-government approach to over-regulate Americans' day-to-day lives. Like many of you, I was shocked when I first heard the report that the federal government was even considering such a proposal. I thought, surely this can't be true, it's some clickbait, but no, after looking into the details, it is unfortunately true. It is a de facto ban. The Biden administration is looking to regulate gas stoves out of existence. We know that the department has the authority to regulate energy efficiency standards for appliances and has done so far, they've done that for decades without really a major issue. But since Joe Biden took office, he made clear from day one that he was on a mission to abolish fossil fuels. Under his watch, energy prices have skyrocketed while agencies push through rules to suppress energy production and hurt American energy independence. His administration is even going after Americans' household appliances. What is more American than a gas stove? And not just gas stoves. It's also targeting dishwashers, refrigerators, water heaters, furnaces, and even air conditioners. So while Americans suffer under the weight of inflation that has not let up, it wasn't transitory, the Biden administration is trying to make Americans' lives even more expensive. The Biden administration doesn't seem to understand it is supposed to be government of, by, and for the people, not bureaucrats, and not the Beltway. Or maybe it's just that that's why it's taking such an effort to hide its agenda from the American people. For example, today we have another Biden administration agency refusing to testify about a rulemaking, a rule and rulemaking authority that is affecting so many Americans. The Department of Energy ought to be here at this hearing to answer questions about rulemaking on its gas stoves. But again, it's not. The Department of Energy refused to come, claiming that the rulemaking process is ongoing. That's exactly when Congress should be asking questions, not when it's finished. What the Department of Energy, what are they hiding? Why are they afraid to come and answer questions about one of its own priorities before the elected representatives of the people? Well, they can't keep hiding. That's why Chairman Comer and I have sent an invitation for Undersecretary Dr. Jerry Richmond to testify about not just this rulemaking, but the entire Department of Energy's rulemaking agenda for home appliances. And I ask unanimous consent to enter this letter into the record without objection. So ordered. The American people deserve to understand the Biden administration's effort to regulate their stoves, their furnaces, their appliances, and quite frankly, their lives. That said, I thank the witnesses for appearing today.
We're going to take away all of our gas appliances. We'll see. Salty Sab has zero chance of passing. They already passed it in California and in New York. It's ways out though. It's like 2030 or something like that. They're going to make it so... In New York, I think they're making it so all new buildings will be constructed without gas connections. There won't be any way to connect natural gas. And then in California, I think they're just banning stoves. I think they're just banning gas stoves outright. But who knows? Who knows? Those places are already terrible. Can't imagine that they're going to get any better. The nationwide ban, though, I don't think they'll pass it. We'll see. Good luck to them. What are they going to do? Go house to house and take our gas stoves? Is that going to be their training to see about gun grabs? And be like, well, if they let us go house to house and take their stove tops, maybe we can take their guns too. I don't know. I know they did it during Hurricane Katrina. They were like, we need to go take everyone's guns. And they went house to house and took everyone's guns, and then the criminals were running rampant. It was not good. It was not good. And there was a lot of Americans that died because they refused to forfeit their firearms. And, when you're encountering a SWAT team, especially the military, National Guard comes in, kicks your door and says, give us the guns. You say no. There's not a lot of grace there after that. I think that was a small glimpse into what the future may hold. Edward, it's weird how 2030 is always the date. Yeah, it's weird how it's all choreographed like that. Julius, They exempted a celeb chef through, though, in California. I don't know why I can't read. I read like old man Walter. I did see that. That there's a celebrity chef that is allowed to have natural gas, but everybody else, no, not for you. You cannot have natural gas. That's a big no-no for you. You're a threat to their democracy and all that stuff. Let's see. Ting ting, the rest of the world is starting to tell G7 to F off. Now they're trying to tell us what to do. Yeah, we showed a video. People in Japan were protesting the G7. I was kind of surprised to see that. Never seen Japanese people protesting since I've been a live streamer. I haven't noticed it, at least, so I was pretty surprised to see that. And I showed it on the live a couple days ago. Let's see. I'm trying to figure out how to say your name. Kelly Kaku? I can't figure it out. I even Googled it. It's Japanese or something like that. Says that's correct. The new buildings in New York are going to be gasless. They failed to specify how they're going to handle the extra load of electricity on the electrical grid and provide the power they need. Yeah, they're going to end up having rolling blackouts and stuff. They keep that up because all the old buildings are burning down. Like twice a week or something like that. Apartment complexes and stuff are burning down in New York City. And I don't know if that's strategically done or what. And it's causing locals to be kind of outraged because they're losing housing. So there's no place for them to go. Their houses are burning down. And then they're going to have these new buildings constructed where there's no natural gas. And then they'll have rolling blackouts. And so then you'll have a place to live. You won't have any power though. So it's no good. It's no good. Crystal Heart, that chef cooks up the people. Maybe he works for the feds. Works for the Fed boys. Let's see. Just reading through the chat really quick. We're going to move into the next video. We got 2 more. And after that, we're going to be moving to the alternative platforms only. And we got 3 more videos to watch. We're going to be showing 2 different videos that have to do with that radical professor that I was talking about earlier in the live. First, going at these students that set up a table, raising information and educating individuals walking by about why it's bad to chemically cure yourself from pregnancy, because I can't say what it's the actual phrase for that. I'm not allowed to on YouTube. But that wasn't the only incident. A news crew went to interview that radical professor, and she came out with a machete and stuck it to the reporter's neck and was talking about beheading him and all this other stuff. So we're going to be showing that on all the alternative platforms. Right now we're currently live on 2 YouTube channels: Twitch, Kick, Odyssey, Rumble, jeffmaclive.com, and Twitter. But we got those 2 videos, and we have another one. Mayor of San Francisco drug crisis, meeting interrupted by boos, shouting, brick thrown in the crowd. All of that stuff's going to be on the alternative platforms. That stuff is too spicy for YouTube. But we got 2 more. We got 2 more for everyone that watches on YouTube before we wrap things up on this side. So this next one's titled Target Scrambles to Avoid Bud Light Moment. It's because Target had a kids section, but they were trying to sell a bunch of flamboyant stuff to children, which everyone except for softies know that that's wrong. That's wrong. It's about time people with brains started fighting back. This woke nonsense has been going on too long. I mean, I believe in people to have freedom of choice, but when it comes to hurting kids and shoving rainbow flags down people's throats and stuff, nah, you're infringing on other people's happiness at that point. You're free to do as you wish, but don't infringe on other people. So I don't know, that's where we draw the line. You definitely don't hurt kids. I don't care what team you vote for. Let's go ahead and get this started.
Target holding an emergency meeting over its controversial Pride merchandise. The damage control mode coming as it desperately tries to avoid a so-called Bud Light situation. A Target insider telling Fox News Digital, quote, "We were given 36 hours, told to take all of our Pride stuff and move it into a section that's a third of the size from the front of the store to the back. I think given the current situation with Bud Light, the company is terrified." Fox News contributor Douglas Murray joins us now. Douglas, your reaction?
Well, several things. First of all, of course, they're trying to avoid a Bud Light moment. I mean, the Bud's share prices fell 25% in 1 week, so of course Target want to avoid anything like that. Second thing is, first of all, we've got to be, clear about this. They call it pride merchandise. Nobody has a problem with the LGB bit of this equation. The problem that has erupted in America is the T bit. And it's quite wrong for a company like Target, first of all, to say pride when what we're talking about is clothes that are for people who believe that they are trans, specifically for men who believe they're women. To wrap all of this up in pride, I think, is a great insult to many people in this country.
Because they were selling a bathing suit that had instructions on how to tuck.
Right? So without getting too anatomical,
Right.
of course, this is about women's bathing costumes adapted for a man. Now, this also goes to one of the other things I've said for a long time on this. It is worth noting in the whole trans issue the extent to which it is women who are repeatedly inconvenienced, not men. It is things being adapted for biological men who believe that they are women, very, very rarely the other way round. And I think this is important because women who shop at Target don't need to be inconvenienced by having to ask if this is actually male clothing. You'll notice that it's not men, it's not male customers who are always being asked to adapt and being asked, to effectively say in store, is this for a woman or not? And I think that points to something very important at the heart of the movement that is now being called Pride, which I think is a trans movement. It is a very important detail in this. It is constantly women who are being inconvenienced. It is women's sports. It is women's changing rooms. It is women's clothing, including women's, underwear and other things. I think people should notice that.
I think also there have been some complaints about the fact that they're children's clothes, they're clothes for infants in this section as well.
And that is madness. I'm sorry, but it has to be said. There is no way that people should adapt to what I regard as being a social contagion in this decade, which is, you can show it very clearly by all the data. Once a child in an area says that they are trans, you get a whole load of other children identifying as well, because it's things like, and they're told if you feel uncomfortable in your body, sorry, every teenager at some point feels uncomfortable in their body. It's the nature of being a teenager. It's the nature of being a kid. The adults should be better at explaining to the kids that that's the situation, not telling them that they are born in the wrong body. It is so wrong and so cruel, and it doesn't help the kids.
Yeah, important conversations to have. We all have different opinions about it as long as we do it in love.
Yeah, of course.
But there are some concerns about children and age and that kind of thing. And when do we start talking to our children about this? So thank you so much, Douglas. This is a statement from Target. Since introducing this year's collection, we've experienced threats impacting our team members' sense of safety and well-being while at work. Given these volatile circumstances, we're making adjustments to our plans, including removing items at the center of the most significant controversial or confrontational behavior. Our focus now is on moving forward with our continuing commitment to the LGBTQIA+ community. Douglas, thanks for being here.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Bright.
Those shapeshifters, they're out to hurt kids. That's all they're here for. They're not for anything else. These shapeshifters are here to hurt kids, and they're hiding under the umbrella of rainbow people. That's what they're doing. I think rainbow people should call them out. They should knock their letter off the alphabet. Because they're roping it in to try and put up a smoke screen, but no, those shape-shifting predators, that's what they are. That is exactly what they are. Cinderella, yep. I don't know, I think it's interesting to see the blowback, though. I think it's interesting to see that Bud Light really was hurt by everybody turning their back on him. I think it's interesting. There's another. Well, the Dodgers at first, they were taking away those individuals that are anti-Catholic. That's their big thing. They look like shape-shifting predators, but their big thing is being anti-Catholic. And they turn their back on them, but then they just welcomed them back in, which is what they were talking about during the White House press briefing. Now Target's out here doing this, trying to target children, and it's no good. It's no good. Anybody that hurts kids should be broken down and consumed. Like, there's no need for them to walk the surface of the planet at all. I think they should be made an example of. I think that they should just have their rights stripped away, and if you just, remove them yourselves, there shouldn't be any consequences. There's no reason to have people here who hurt children. People like that don't change. So, I don't know. It's no good. It's no good. Let's see. Just reading through the chat really quick. Red Wagon, Walmart had Pride pallets. Yeah, see, and the thing is like there's stuff that's okay until you start hurting children, and there's a very specific group of individuals that are targeting children, and that's not okay. I don't care who people love or what they wear or any of that stuff, but when you're like targeting kids, even prisoners know that you don't target kids. Like, the worst of the worst know, and then these evil people show up, and that's their specific goal, is to target kids. That's why they have that reading children, all ages welcome reading hour stuff that they're doing with the shapeshifters, because all they want is to hurt kids. They don't want equal rights or equal opportunity or blah 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 blah. They already have that. They want to be able to, it's a stepping stone to the next step, which is fluid age. You're only as old as you feel. So if you want to go date a 10-year-old because you feel like a 10-year-old, they're trying to make that normal. That's what the shape-shifting predators are. They are a stepping stone to that destination. You cannot let that stuff slide. What's up, Red Bear? Happy freedom. Gonzo, bye-bye Target. Yeah. Target isn't anything special anyways. They're just overpriced selling, Chinese crap. And now they're targeting kids, so we don't need them. We don't need them. I'm waiting to see new businesses pop up. Tin Man, you might have to post that kind of stuff over on the website if it's spicy. Let's see. Lion's Heart, that's what it is. That's exactly what it is. I wish I could speak more direct on YouTube. I think I might just fly off the handle once we get YouTube out of here. Because there is a lot of stuff I can't say, and there's only so many ways to dance around a subject. Edward, nobody wants to eat that. I mean, we're already eating people. You know what they say about the McDonald's meat. Yeah, I don't really want to eat shapeshifters either, but I think any other punishment isn't good enough. That's what I think. Oh, we got a flamboyant troll in the chat. No, I don't stop going after anything. I stand all the way up on women's rights. And I encourage women to speak out. If they see a shapeshifter in their bathroom, in their locker room, or any of that stuff, tell somebody. Somebody will do something. Men are on standby. You see a man standing there, you come out of your facility, and you seen a shapeshifter in there, and you see a random man standing on the outside, maybe waiting for his wife or waiting for his kid, and you go, hey, there's a dude in there, he's going to do something about it. 99% of the time. He's going to do something about it. Shapeshifters have no place in this world. And most believe that. The only ones that don't are those people. They want to hurt kids. If you defend shapeshifters, you want to hurt kids too. That's all there is to it. There's nothing, that's it. That's the whole deal right there. Anybody that defends shapeshifters, you're a predator too. Let's see. Miss Jamie, yeah. I don't know. We're going to see. It's going to be spicy this summer. I already know. Especially seeing the blowback with Bud Light and all that stuff. I'm ready for it. I want people to fight back. Not physically hurt each other, but fight back. Stand up for yourself. Stand up for kids. Stand up for women's rights. Women's rights are being trampled left and right now. So big. So big. It's terrible. What's up, Saw Dog? Happy freedom. Kilikaku. Yeah, there's small towns are like that here. They fight against Walmarts and stuff like that. They don't want that to move to town because it's harmful to small businesses and locals any kind of local business. It's always harmful to have big department stores show up. Yeah, Lionheart, I don't think they deserve their own prison. I don't think they deserve their own section of a jail or anything. They go inside, whatever happens to them, happens to them. That's what happens. That's what happens. That's why they don't survive when they go inside prison and stuff like that, because even criminals know you do not hurt kids. Troll Don. It's not wise to mess with the mods. They'll strike you off the face of this planet. Absolutely, Gonzo. My biggest issue is the community guidelines on YouTube. If Rumble and all the other platforms would take the lead, you guys would be surprised to hear a lot of the things I think. I just can't say a lot of stuff. I have to dance around it so much, and there's only so much dancing that can be done. Alright, so this next video, this is our last video on YouTube. It's short, but it's a good one. Vietnam POWs reunite on 50th anniversary of homecoming. Alright, let's get her started.
My entire 6.5 years in prison, I had absolutely zero doubt that my country would never forget me, that I would be brought home back to my country, whether I was alive or did not survive. The strength of having that knowledge was part of what got me through 6.5 years of hell.
We all suffered in many, many ways that most people don't know anything about, you know, family separations and deaths and just bad circumstances, but we overcame it all.
Awesome. Awesome sauce. Great Americans. Hopefully we don't stop making them. Alright, so that's all I had for the YouTube side of things. Like I said, we have 3 more videos on the alternative platforms. They are absolutely worth watching. If you think about it, if it's too spicy for YouTube, it must be good stuff. So, I already have the link to, I almost said Odyssey, to Rumble pinned to the top of the YouTube chat. I'll grab it again because I don't have it posted on the JeffMAC Live channel. Oh, I love when trolls come in here and say, "Oh, I'm about freedom." Yeah, good for you, bud. Good for you. They always say that to try and defend their racist comments and nonsense. But what about freedom of speech? Nobody asked you to come into my living room acting like an asshole, buddy. Nobody asked for that. I'm only allowing you to be here to let the hooligans eat. You'll be banned by the end of this live, don't you worry. So there is the link to Rumble. I'm going to post a link to Odyssey. We're going to be doing the spiel deal. We're going to do the Pledge of Allegiance. And then we're going to wrap things up for the YouTube side of things. We're going to move over to the alternative platforms. So let me get these links dropped and we're going to move forward. Hey, I appreciate you, Ting Ting. There's Odyssey. It's the link for jeffmaclive.com. Then we're also going to drop the LinkTree in here. All right, hooligans, when you get a second, please go to the LinkTree. I just dropped that in the chat, as well as all the alternative platforms. But go to the LinkTree. All of my links are listed. You can find the link for Gilded, and Gilded is free. It's currently the best way to receive notifications for when and where we go live. Every time we go live, there's a news board on Gilded to keep you up to date with everything going on around the world. And we got a ton of hooligans in there to hang out with all day, every day, to chat it up about pretty much whatever you like. So definitely go join Gilded. Also on the LinkTree, you can find the link to the merch store if you'd like to grab some merch. We have shirts, hoodies, stickers, and coffee mugs, as well as some other specialty items. Everything is displayed on black and white or white and black. But if you find something you like, just click on that item and you'll see all the different colors that that item comes in. You can also find links to PayPal, Cash App, Venmo, Stripe, Zelle, Buy Me a Coffee, and Locals if you would like to help support what I do. There's also a link to the Amazon wish list if you would like to send me stuff. It's really easy to use. Anything you purchase directly from the wish list will be sent straight to me without having to send emails, find addresses, or anything like that. It's really simple. And then finally, we have links to the membership programs. We have memberships for YouTube, Gilded, Discord, Odyssey, Rumble, and Twitch. And then at the very top of the link tree there, you can see you can claim a free week membership to jeffmaclive.com. There's no strings attached, no credit cards or anything like that. It'll give you access to the private areas so you can see all the great things that we're doing over there. Plus, I'm developing the website pretty much on a daily basis. And so this is an easy way for you to see all the things we have. You'll have access to your own profile for our private social media area. You'll have access to the live streaming area with the built-in chat. And you'll also have access to our advanced messaging system with the ability to text, call, video call group, text group, call group, video call, and the ability to upload all media that's ever been created except for VHS tapes. You can do MP3s, MP4s, slideshows, all images, all kinds of documents and stuff like that. So if you find things you think is worth sharing but it's a little bit too spicy for other platforms, you're welcome to upload it there on the website to inform hooligans. Or if you just want to show us a badass steak you're cooking or your garden or whatever, you're welcome to post that kind of stuff too. That's also where we do our voice chats, where me and all the other hooligans actually have conversation, and a lot of times it gets escalated to video chat, so we're all sitting there hanging out together, drinking beer, talking about cool stuff. So definitely go join jeffmaclive.com. It's the freest place on the internet. All right, you hooligans, you know what time it is. Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, that is that. We're going to be moving to the alternative platforms to continue on with the rest of the live. Like I said, we got 3 videos, too spicy for YouTube, but are absolutely worth watching. I've already dropped the links to Rumble, Odyssey, jeffmaclive.com, as well as the LinkTree. The LinkTree can take you everywhere. It has all the platforms listed, all the donation links, all the membership links, everything. You can join Gilded, Discord, Telegram, all that stuff. It's all listed on the LinkTree, so definitely take advantage of that. Give me a second here so we can switch everything over. For those of you hooligans that only watch on YouTube, I appreciate all of you. I appreciate all the support and everything you guys do. We will have a live later on today. We're going to be playing the game probably 10 to 12 on the gaming channel on YouTube. And then we'll be live again, Coffee with Hooligans, tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. So if you only watch on YouTube, I'll see you tomorrow.